Right guys, we're back again on site today with Dan, the project manager, or should we say Dan, the action man after yesterday's antics. He is currently on a earn and learn site visit with a couple of the students right now. He's got, I think, 2 or 3 groups today, but yeah, he's got 2 or 3 groups. We're currently standing in Steve's current development where he's turning a 2-bedroom house into a 4-bedroom HMO. So Dan's just going to go through the house with the students from start to finish, what he plans on doing with the house, what Steve plans on doing with the house, what regulations you need with HMOs, etc, etc. Let's see what Dan has to say.
So we're in the kitchen now. Kitchen is going to be at that top end, and this is going to be a communal dining area. This is what's required for this area with the council. So if you had a wall with a doorway and you had a dining room, would have to be 11 square metres in this area, minimum. 7 square metres for your kitchen. But because, so that 18 when you're looking at it that way, but because this is combined and it's all open plan, I spoke to the architects, we've looked at the regulation, and we can get away with 16.5 square metres total, but I think we're above that anyway. I think we're around 17, 8, between 17 and 18 in here, so we're good. Obviously you can see there, that's called a cranked beam. That's a steel that we fitted. Now we fitted that steel because the existing brickwork and the existing steel came to here, so there was a lowered head height. So obviously to increase the head height and give that more open plan feel, because it was very compact. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, compact with that down here. So now that's opened up. Obviously at this stage now, we can carry on with boarding. You have to board all the steels with pink fireboard. Then you leave the ends exposed where the pad stones and everything, and then you get your building inspector out, and he will come and actually sign off the pad stones to make sure that they're the correct ones. Make sure it's all done correctly, basically, and that the steel's been fitted right to be able to give you that sign off at this stage, which then allows you to carry on doing the rest of the boarding, rest of the plastering, and then you can get the inspector out at different stages as and when needed.
Loving it, especially the fact that we're going around so many different types of properties, so I'm getting to see so many different strategies at play and all the intricacies and getting things over the line. So like just being in here today, like just discussing like the walls, the fact that we've got to have thermal insulation on these walls because they're the exterior walls, and obviously when you put the timber frame in and then those thermal plasterboards on, just how much space you're losing because it's HMO. You've got to be really mindful of space in order to meet all your regulations. So when you're first going to view a property and you're sizing up all the rooms, it's just having that knowledge in the back of your brain to be aware, okay, I've got to account for these sorts of things that I've got to put in the property in order to meet my regulations and get my certificate of lawfulness, basically. So it's great, loving it as usual, really enjoying it.
It has been really good actually. So I have been to this property before. The first time I've seen it was pre-rip out. It was just recently bought, and then now at this stage, and it's nice to see the journey of what has been done to the property. And every time I come to an earn and learn site visit, I learn something new. Like today, I learned about fireboarding, thermal insulation, what are the regs that are needed to pass, insulation, fire, soundproofing, just so many things. But yeah, really good.
Obviously down here, you can see where the old brickwork was. This here was a shared coal shed between us and next door. So that was the door to get in, and obviously it was just a small storage shed at the back of the property. So what we're going to do is, the next door neighbour's still got her rights to the coal shed, but we needed this extra space to create the extra room for the kitchen, etc. So what we've done is, we're going to move the door over, and we're actually going to block this up and block that up where the hole will be, and then the next door neighbour will still have access into the coal shed, but then we've got our nice, squared off kitchen and the extra room that we needed to meet requirements. So the kitchen is going to run as an L shape down there, and it's going to have all your appliances in, built in, washing, drying machine, dishwasher, fridge, freezer, cooker, hob, sink, everything that's your norm, really. Again, just another little tip, just in case you don't know, is extraction. always make sure your extractor is outside, like it flows outside. They don't like filtered extraction. They like it going directly outside because they won't pass it. They're very funny about it, especially now. Someone previously did have an extractor fan up in this corner, what looked like an extractor fan. So the front was on, but no one ever drilled a hole. So it was actually doing anything. So you can see how this brick work is like a dark colour compared to the rest. Yeah. So that there was an old pantry cupboard. So there potentially could be some damp in that wall. So our builder is going to do some further investigations and to see if it needs treating. If it does need treating, we'll treat it because obviously we don't want no future problems. But this is something you don't just want to cover up and hope for the best, because then it will start coming through the walls, start coming through into your kitchen cupboards and start causing you problems to where you've got to rip everything back out to do the job that you could have done when it was exposed.
Are you tired of seeing other people build wealth in property and you don't even know where to start? Well, take a look at this. October 26th, I am back in Milton Keynes. I'm going to be teaching you about HMOs, flips, BRRs, deal sourcing, auctions, project management, ground up developments, social media, raising finance, and so much more, all for just £11. So come down to my next Accelerator event, understand why the 1% are all in property, and by the time you leave, you will know which way you need to go.
Earn and learn journey. Wicked. All the different houses. Loads of different sort of situations. Like this one, for example, is a 4-bed HMO. Other ones we've seen just residential or larger HMOs. So it's quite interesting to see all the different aspects of what you have to do to make these houses, fit the regs and everything. So yeah, wicked.
First group of the day, all done. Always a pleasure. There's no better learning than being on site. You have to be on site so you can see everything that's going on stage by stage. If you're lucky enough on the day to get to meet the builder as well, fantastic. You also get to ask all the questions that you want. So we always tell our students that write all the questions down before you come that you want to know, and then obviously when you start walking them around different properties, showing them different things, explaining different regulation, they've got a whole load more questions. So yeah, a lot of learning going on today, really beneficial. If any of you guys would love to be a part of the Earn and Learn scheme and join us on this journey, well, click the link below. So guys, if you look here, we have the main electrical fuse with the fuse board. So we contacted National Grid and Cadent for the gas, and we was going to move the electrics from there into the hallway and the gas just onto the outside wall. That was coming in at around £5,000 to do that. Obviously we added it onto the refurb costs and the purchase price of this property. It didn't really make sense. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to leave the electrical supply and the gas where it is. Obviously, yes, it's not ideal. It's going to be in one of the bedrooms, but we're going to charge a discounted rate. And then also we have to do certain things to meet certain regulations. So we're going to have it all boxed in correctly. There'll be an access panel to the electrics and the gas that nobody can just walk up and access it. There'll be a special key. And obviously, by doing that, and as long as we've got it all labelled up with 230 volts danger to stop anyone hurting themselves with it, then we've done everything we can.
I have somebody who wants to potentially buy a deal that my sourcing division has sourced. I'm about to do a presentation for them. Yeah. If you look here, there's nothing wrong with the roof. There's nothing wrong with the chimney. There's no structural issues. I've sent you over the report. Yeah. So we had the report done. Everything's good there. If you look at these 3 rooms, obviously, the kitchen needs replacing, the bathroom needs replacing. All that wood paneling has to be done. Internal carpentry, flooring has to be changed. Living room, you've got the chimney breast, which you can decide if you want to make more space or you can make a feature of it. Garden doesn't need nothing. And if you look at the side passage, that window, the windows are quite good. Yeah. So if you did want to BRR it, because I know you want to flip, but I also
Yeah.
know you like to keep assets.
Yeah.
So we've got the purchase price at 130,
Yeah.
and we've got the refurb cost at 34.5.
Yeah.
The additional cost is if you want to buy it with bridging, stamp.
Okay.
So that 28 breaks down to, where's the list please guys? So you got probably 17 or 18 grand in bridging fees, yes, 17.5k.
Yeah.
You got 3,900 stamp duty.
Yeah.
You got legals as 1,500 quid. And then
Yeah.
you got a contingency if you go over budget. It's a decent house. It's not a back to brick.
Yeah.
So if you bought it cash 130, 3,900 stamp, and then your legals, and then that renovation, you're all in for about 170 cash. If you want to use finance, you're in for 185.
Yeah, 185. Yeah. 185.
Yeah. End value's coming in at 210, comparable over the road. If you wanted to do that little extension thing that you wanted to do, it would cost you about 15 grand, and I think you'd probably only return about 5k, but I know you're happy with things like that. No, I think that you're in a good position, and I've called up as well, and the 5k sourcing fee, I'm trying to get it knocked off the 130 to the 125, and the lady's calling me back this afternoon.
Great.
So I'm even trying to get it from 130 to 125. I need you just to give me an answer before 5 p.m. Yeah, Ryan's a great guy. Knows his stuff, understands how this works. Refurb coming in at 35k is on the low end because Roy knows what he's doing. He's got teams, he's got people around him. He can get things at a little bit of a different price than most people. And also, this is not a back to brick refurb. This is a great deal where we've secured a great amount of discounts, and we've got comparables on the street, so it's a great end value. 5k sourcing fee if it's reduced from 130 to 125. If not, it's a 4k sourcing fee, and it's a great project. So when you sell deals, or when you're, obviously this is a friend of mine, so this is a little bit different. This is what I am doing the presentation here for Roy. I'm not saying if he wasn't a friend of mine I wouldn't do the presentation, but we do have a whole team that does this. This is how we package the deals and we send them out. We then put it in a PDF, which is here on my screen now, which I will also forward on WhatsApp or email. Usually WhatsApp's easy because people can just open it and scroll. And then we give certain deadlines, because I'm not sending you a deal that you need to sleep on for 24 hours. That's not how this works. Yes, you might need 4 hours to do your own due diligence, to make a few calls to estate agents. But Roy got sent this last night, and he'd already made the phone calls by 9:10 this morning to who he needed to speak to get certain answers and stuff like that. So anybody that comes to me for a deal, if you're one of these people that needs to sleep on it for a night or a week or 2 weeks, you're not very serious. You don't take things seriously, because the property world, albeit it moves slow in conveyancing, it moves pretty quick in deals. So you need to be on it, you need to be active, and you need to be ready to move pretty sharpish. So yeah, that is a little behind the scenes on how a deal is sold here at the Property Circle.